Now, this story begins in a small town where a man lived a very white picket fence life. This man was well known throughout the town, and everyone had nothing but great things to say about him. What people didn't know was that this man, who was very much established in the town, was keeping a long-time family secret. A secret that even if he did tell someone, it would never be believed anyway. The secret that the family was keeping was a generational curse that has been passed down. Now, you may be wondering where this curse began. Well, locals have told stories about the curse, speculating what it was and why it was set upon the family. But the story that is most well known is that in the 1900s, the man was married to a woman who dabbled in the occult. Only after a few months of marriage, he began to have an affair with a woman from a town over. After a few months, he decided to call his marriage off and run away with the mistress. After this, his ex-wife placed the curse upon him and his family name. The curse placed on the man would cause him to have nightmares of a woman in white, with a face that no matter what, you couldn't focus on until the day he would die. And every firstborn son in the family would have nightmares every time they fell in love, until the day they had a son, where at that point, the curse would be transferred to the next generation. The curse would only be broken after a life of loneliness, just like the ex-wife lived. It would be in the early 2000s that the curse would finally be broken, after the firstborn son of the family was tragically killed at a young age. With passing away at such a young age, he was never able to fall in love, causing the curse to be broken, but not yet gone. Over the years, stories of the curse traveled from town to town, and every small town loves a good thriller story. In one of the more terrifying stories, it said that you could conjure up this woman who placed the curse through a ritual. But what happens? No one truly knows. One night after a high school dance, a friend group of girls decided to go to one of their houses for the night. And of course, as the night got later and the witch's hour got closer, their curiosity got the best of them as the ghost stories began to be told. The girl whose house it was began to tell a story about a couple's love story that ended in heartbreak and the woman living a life of loneliness. She went on to say that she heard there's a chant with a candle you can say and the woman will manifest right before your very eyes. But you won't be able to make out her face. If you can see her face clearly, legend has it that you will pass in the matter of 6 months. Now, this girl was someone who always wanted to push the boundaries and see for herself. So she decided to volunteer to put the ritual to the test. The girls turned the lights off and gathered around the bright candle illuminating the room. The girl began to chant while gazing deeply into the candle, saying it once, then twice, then a third time, completing the chant. She then takes her eyes off the candle, looking into the dark of the room. She goes silent with a face of sorrow before her friends shake her back to reality. After a few minutes of quiet, she finally speaks, saying that she just wants to go to bed. The girls leave, but have so many questions. The girls counted down the hours until Monday, when they would all see each other at school again, and would hopefully be able to get some answers from that night. When Monday came around, there was one empty desk in the classroom, that desk being Becca's, the one brave soul willing to play the game. Days and even months went on, and the girls never saw her or her family. They would walk by her house every so often, and there would be no one in sight. No for sale sign, no car in the driveway, and not a single light on. Just as the girls began to forget about Becca and that very strange night, a new girl moves into town and was even being placed in her same seat and made friends with the same group of girls. What made everything about that strange was that her family even moved into the vacant house Becca's family used to live in. The girls would eventually become really close friends with the new girl until one night they all gathered at her house. And of course, as the night got later and the witch's hour got closer, their curiosity got the best of them,